approaching perhaps a little quickly at the moment. And they're off for the 20th running of the Betfair Chase, this Grade 1 prize. Brave Man's Game, and the first time blinkers leads them over the first with the mare Limerick Lace, the last a touchdown. So now 2 complete circuits of the Haydock Chase course ahead of them, and last year's winner Royale Pagaille, Charlie Deutsch and the pink silks of owner Susannah Ricci moving alongside Brave Man's Game as they race under the judge first time. The nose-banded Gold Tweet disputing third place with the grey Dawning, and then Capodanno, the white cap, Ahoy Signor in a red and black jacket, and lastly Limerick Lace heading away towards the line of 5 fences awaiting them in the back straight on the first occasion. And Royale Pagaille putting to go back-to-back in this Grade 1 contest, leading them off down the far side over Brave Man's Game, who sits at the leader's quarters, and then Grey Dawning ahead of Gold Tweet, in turn tracked by Capodanno, Ahoy Signor, and lastly Limerick Lace going very gently downhill, approaching the second, and Royale Pagaille with ears pricked leads into it, steadies, puts himself right. Brave Man's Game briefly comes alongside, and then Grey Dawning racing on the near side of the nose-banded Gold Tweet, tracked by Capodanno, Ahoy Signor waited with, and Limerick Lace put to sleep at the back of the field by Keith Donoghue. Again, Royale Pagaille just correcting himself as he went over the third, and they complete now more than half a mile. Middle fence in the back straight first time. Royale Pagaille to Brave Man's Game on the far side, and then Gold Tweet and Grey Dawning, who put in a particularly fluent leap there. Almost came up sides, Royale Pagaille, but he's quickly reined back by Harry Skelton. And Capodanno, white cap, held up just ahead of owner mate Limerick Lace, and Ahoy Signor racing enthusiastically in rear. Derek Fox having a tight hold of his head as they move on to the open ditch at the end of the back straight. Royale Pagaille over Brave Man's Game. And Grey Dawning again putting another prodigious leap. And the Grey jumping exuberantly down the back straight for the first time as Royale Pagaille leads them into the next turn. Over Brave Man's Game and Grey Dawning. Gold Tweet racing a very close fourth. And then Capodanno and Limerick Lace and Ahoy Signor racing side by side at the back of the field. Heading on now towards the last 2 miles, and the pace was pretty even all the way down the far side. They nudged 27-28 miles an hour, and Royale Pagaille just extending his lead very slightly as he turns to face the 7th. Brave Man's Game being brought towards the near side by Sam Twiston Davis. Gold Tweet in the centre, Grey Dawning on the far side jumping soundly once more. Capodanno giving it plenty of daylight. Limerick Lace and Ahoy Signor remain the final duo. On now towards another open ditch. Royale Pagaille by a couple of lengths. Gold Tweet in the centre lifts off in second, just ahead of Grey Dawning and Brave Man's Game, who form the pincer around Gold Tweet. Capodanno, Limerick Lace and Ahoy Signor racing firmly in touch. This fence brings them to the end of a circuit, and Royale Pagaille outjumped by Gold Tweet, who exuberantly got within a half length of the leader, and they now move on towards fence 10. Royale Pagaille over Gold Tweet. Brave Man's Game on the near side of Grey Dawning, rising. Leader was quick there. Capodanno in 5th, and then Ahoy Signor and Limerick Lace. Beyond halfway, one more circuit to cover. The 20th running of the Betfair Chase, and Royale Pagaille has made most in his bid to win the race again. Leads by a couple of lengths under the judge this time, over Gold Tweet. And then Brave Man's Game and Grey Dawning. Capodanno, Limerick Lace and Ahoy Signor is last of the 7-strong field, heading away towards the back straight. And still the pace is pretty even. It still hovers around 27-28 miles an hour. Once again, they will just very gently go on the descent before they encounter the next, fence 11, Royale Pagaille, stalked by French raider Gold Tweet in the hands of Gabin Meunier. Brave Man's Game on the far side. Grey Dawning still poised right down on the inner. Harry Skelton's been saving ground throughout. Ahoy Signor is just a little detached, as Royale Pagaille, as he did on the first circuit, got in close to that. But he was quite nimble, quite clever. Capodanno and Limerick Lace, the owner mates, sit back in 5th and 6th places, no more than 4 or 5 lengths off the lead. Royale Pagaille over Gold Tweet, joined in second by Grey Dawning, who again came up well for Harry Skelton. Brave Man's Game in 4th. Then Capadano, Limerick Lace and Ahoy Signor, and they're moving on now to the final mile. Royale Pagaille, Grey Dawning, though, jumping up to his quarters. Gold Tweet is still bang there. Brave Man's Game may have surrendered a couple of positions, but he hasn't lost much ground. Capadano, Whitecap just inching a little closer. Royale Pagaille flicking through the top. Limerick Lace is last but one. Ahoy Signor remains at the tail, and they're now moving to the open ditch at the end of the back straight once again. This is the fifth from home, and it's an even pace. Royale Pagaille was quick there. He was certainly much quicker than Brave Man's Game, who slightly ballooned it. Now they're moving towards the final 3/4 of a mile, and Charlie Deutsch glances in behind, and he'll see that Gold Tweet and Grey Dawning are right in the slipstream of Royale Pagaille. Brave Man's Game a couple lengths away in fourth. And then Capadano, followed by Limerick Lace and Ahoy Signor, and they're now heading for the final half mile and the final four fences in the Betfair Chase. It's last year's hero, Royale Pagaille, who leads them into the straight, being slipstreamed by the Grey Dawning. Skelton removing his goggles. Gold Tweet still running a big race for France on the left. Brave Man's Game now under pressure in fourth. Likewise Capadano. Here's the fourth last. Royale Pagaille in close to it. Now Grey Dawning is right on his tail. Gold Tweet's only a half length down. Brave Man's Game back in fourth, rallying a little under pressure. Royale Pagaille asked for more in front. Deutsch sitting lower in the saddle. Here's the third last. Royale Pagaille still by a couple of lengths. Skelton nursing, ghosting Grey Dawn into it. Gold Tweet back in third, and then Brave Man's Game. They've got two to jump in the Betfair Chase. Royale Pagaille on the right. Grey Dawning now launching his challenge. A length between them on landing. They're clear of Gold Tweet and Brave Man's Game, and it's the brave who get home from here in this Grade 1 prize. There's one to jump in the Betfair Chase, and it's Grey Dawning from Royale Pagaille. Grey Dawning going on. Here's the last. In close, bunny hops it. He lands 2 lengths clear. Royale Pagaille is rallying bravely under pressure. 150 yards to go, and Royale Pagaille is back in front. Grey Dawning having another crack at him, but it's Royale Pagaille coming home the stronger. 12 months on in the Betfair Chase. The result is the same. Royale Pagaille, supreme and gutsy, beats Grey Dawning. Brave Man's Game back in third. Gold Tweet in fourth.
Rich Ricci is with me because Royale Pagaille has won the Betfair Chase again. And Rich has just scored a 100th global Grade 1 winner. That is quite something for the pink and green.
It's lovely. I mean, you know, a lot of credit goes to Willie, who's had 98 of them, which is extraordinary. I don't know how many he has in total, but it's amazing. And our horses have taken us all over the world. We've won one in Japan. We've won them all over the place. But France, you know, but it's a special thing because not a lot of people do that. And I feel very privileged to be a part of the sport. And today, amazing. I mean, this horse is sort of a journeyman, isn't he? But he's tough as nails. And I loved it. It was a great crack. Great crack.
I was going to say, of those 100 Grade 1 winners, some will index more than others. Some will mean more to you than others. I mean, what does this horse mean to you?
I love him, actually, because he came from sort of nothing. You know, he started off sort of a handicapper and won a couple. His first season, he was a disaster, and Venetia stuck with him, and he's come along. And I like things that came from nothing. I came from nothing. You know, it's nice that you have these stories that people can go on, or animals can go on and succeed with a bit of love, care, and attention, and a bit of inspiration, and that's what's great. And I love the sport.
And for so long, really, you were a one-trainer man, and you and Willie Mullins have had such great success together. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Venetia and how that developed.
So, as I've always said, Willie will always have the vast majority of our horses, if not all of them. But you know, with Venetia, I'd met Venetia over the years. We did a couple of preview nights together, and that was fine. I'm not quite sure that my style matches her style.
You complement each other rather well, I think.
Well, we do. Very polite way of saying it. We had lunch with the BHA, I think, and she was invited, and she sat next to Susannah, my wife, at the lunch. And Susannah said to me, if we ever have horses in England again, because I've had horses with Nicky Richards, Nicky Henderson, etc., she said, I'd love to have a horse with Venetia. So that was the order. Venetia bought us Royale Pagaille, and that's how it all started. But it's really down to Susannah and Venetia, really. But I've come to love Venetia, and she's great, and it's all great fun. But, you know, Willie is and always will be our main man.
There's some serious finesse gone into producing this horse for this day. I mean, how long has today been in the planning for Royale Pagaille?
Probably since he got hurt last year. This was going to be always the plan, to come back and try to win this again. And you know, Venetia's coming into form, isn't she? Had 2 winners yesterday. She won here. She had a winner at Ascot just now. And this is her time of the year, isn't it? And she's an amazing trainer, and she's great fun as well. But there's been a lot of finesse and a lot of hard work. And Steph looks after her every day, and after him every day. And it's just amazing what they do. It's great.
And is it reasonable to suggest that actually the next serious target for this horse is this day in 12 months' time?
Well, I'd like to think we might take in some of the bigger days. You know, we were going to aim for the King George last year, and he got hurt.
And he's run well in it before.
He's run well in it before. We'd probably go for that. He'll be entered anyway. I'm not even sure if he is. Is he? He must be. I've looked at the entries, but I'm sure he'll run. He'll be entered in the Gold Cup, and we'll see what we do with him. But he's on his day, and with this ground, he's competitive, and it's magic.
I realise I'm asking you this at the right time, but could there be another 100 Grade 1ers for Rich and Susannah Ricci, do you think?
I'm getting older, Nick. I'm not sure how much longer I can win them that quickly. Look, we love the game. We're in the game. The game's changing. We're trying to be at the forefront of it. I keep getting outbid for horses, which is interesting, which is great for the game because it's a very healthy market. But no, we're committed to staying and playing, and I'd love to win another 100. I'd love to win another one, first and foremost. But look, I aside from work, this is my passion in life, and I'll pursue it as long as I can.
Well, it's good that you are a racing-aholic, and long may that continue.
That's better than the other holics. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you very much, Rich.
Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.